Hey everybody, welcome back to Mission Accomplished Media. I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And today we're going to review Star Trek Picard Episode 3. And we have notes again. Hope you don't mind us using it. We cold opened on 14 years ago on Mars. It's just a real quick boop, 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 couple shots.
Very fast.
Yeah, and like some ships and...
stuff being blown up.
Yeah, and then some Starfleet ships we've never seen before that were like little fighters or whatever, little triangles, but they really look really cool looking.
They do look cool.
And then they cut to some reused footage from last week, I guess to save on budget. Mm-hmm. And it shows the aftermath of Mars really quickly of like the expanding fireballs.
Yes.
And then it lens flare cuts to 14 years ago
at
in
Starfleet. San Francisco.
Yeah.
Right, and this is where we meet Rafi again.
Mm-hmm.
They're obviously trying to make her look younger. They didn't do.
Yeah, they put on a little bit heavier makeup, I think. But she ends up talking to. You see Picard walking out, and she ends up looking at him and talking to him, and she's like.
And she's got the yellow shirt.
So like you said, it was lieutenant or something like that.
I think she may be. I would assume that she's a lieutenant.
Okay.
Because as far as I know, in Next Generation, captains always wear red.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what did number one Riker? Did he wear red too?
Yes.
He wore red as well.
First, yeah.
Okay,
number
gotcha.
One, yeah.
So first officer also. All right. Well, just reminding myself. So he's walking out and. She pretty much is like, "What happened there?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what was the plan? Here's the plan I had for you.
Yeah.
Like, did you use it for attack?" And he pretty much says they didn't accept anything.
Right.
Like it's just like a conversation to like build the previous relationship of Rafi and Picard because
this is a like a character dialogue. You know, like why they're connected.
Yeah, she calls him JL all the time,
which was slightly annoying.
Yeah, it gets annoying because she says it so much, and then she still says it like when it cuts to her later.
Especially since they're in a formal setting.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, she could. Yeah, I think does she call him Admiral at one point? I'm not even sure.
I think maybe initially she says Admiral, but then she switches to JL very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, and it was just a little. It was a little jarring, but obviously it's meant to make them seem more familiar to each other.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I agree with that. And but it seemed a little forced.
It did.
And I don't know. There's one point when it looks like he's looking directly at the camera, and I'm wondering if he's looking at his cue cards. Like I'm thinking he has, because what he says is like a 3-sentence thing with a lot of jargon in it that I'm sure he's like, I don't give a fuck to learn this.
Yeah.
Like I'll learn all your other like normal sentences, but when it comes to that stuff,
let's shoot it. Let's shoot it slightly off camera.
I'm going to put it up right here, and it's like over and over and over again. Because I did that yesterday with the stuff. I don't know if you saw that, but it was funny, and I'll put that up right now too. But no, it was. It's pretty funny that happens, and pretty much he says the long and short of it is, I told them that I'm going to give them my resignation, or they're going to follow this revised evacuation plan for Romulan. And they were like, well, thanks for your resignation.
Yeah, they accepted his resignation, and he's like, I never expected that. And then Rafi's like, well, if you resign, then, you know, she gets a call.
Yeah, from the CNC.
And she's like, well, it looks like since you revised, you resigned, I'm being fired.
Yeah, so there's ramifications for people that are working for him and stuff.
And again, it's supposed to show that they're very close, because basically Starfleet is saying that she's not a Starfleet officer, she's Picard's officer.
Yeah.
And so they're cutting ties with Picard altogether. You know, not just cutting Picard loose. They're severing all ties to him.
Yeah, and that's a big deal, though. You mentioned that it's like a big deal if like someone of his rank were to leave a military. It would be like news all over the place.
I think this would, like, in our real world, this would be like Colin Powell, like, you know,
resigning. I want nothing to do with you guys.
Yeah, like openly resigning. You know,
he mentions again that Starfleet isn't Starfleet. They're not acting like Starfleet. They're only reacting. They're not thinking. Blah, blah, blah.
They're responding to fear and
intolerance.
And so There's obviously some reflection on current modern politics in that it's barely veiled. You know,
in the same conversation, he says they also agreed that all synthetic life is banned now.
Yes.
Banned. They're all going to be destroyed, if not already. Research is cut. This, that, and the other thing. So after this scene, it cuts to the intro, and which is good. It's a really nice intro.
I mean, that's like every time I see it, I'm like, this may be the best part of the show. You know?
It's really well done. It's really well done. That's all, you know.
Yeah.
But they cut to Rafi and Picard, and they're sitting at a table, and then she gets up with and she starts spraying some plant. She grabs a little piece off, and she comes back. The whole time she's berating him.
Oh, she's tearing him apart.
Yeah, because he pretty much told Starfleet, as the top Starfleet officer of Starfleet, everything. Yeah. Everything. She's like, I didn't know you're such a damn chatterbox, you know?
You weren't when you were captain.
Yeah.
You know, or when we worked together.
But she ends up putting in this leaf into a vape pen and hitting it, and you're like, oh, she's like a stoner and a drunk or something, or just, I don't know, some kind of weird.
She's drinking right out of the wine bottle. She's smoking this. It looks like a mushroom. It's the stem, it's the little piece off of a plant.
Yeah, and I think it was an orchid, some kind of orchid.
It looked like an orchid.
Yeah,
you know.
But she calls it snake leaf, and but it makes paranoia or whatever. But
so she's getting stoned.
Yeah, and she ends up calling, she just calls him out a little bit, and then after this, it's just a small scene. Oh, that's what happens. She's like, right? I'm pretty sure it's now, right? That she's like,
I lost
my security clearance. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That was like the emotion was stepping up as she was talking.
And then it was like, boom! And it was
the climax of the emotion is about security clearances. Yeah. And it's just,
okay.
And again,
I guess, was she is she an intelligence officer? Like a spy kind of a deal? Or is she the security officer?
I think she would be equivalent to Worf.
Okay, really?
Or maybe when he was on the bridge. I guess. Okay. I'm honestly guessing at that, and if I'm incorrect, please comment and let us know.
Yeah, I think she might have been an intelligence officer because of how good she is at spying and researching things. She's an intelligence analyst because of what happens later on in a little bit that we're going to talk about.
So her mission is unclear.
Yeah.
You know, what her roles and responsibilities are unclear. This is all just to establish that these two characters have a relationship. Yeah. And that she's not happy with Picard. Mm-hmm. And
you could have come and visit 14 years just said hi.
I know. She's like, I saw you on TV in your next chateau. Uh-huh. And, I'd take you on a tour around mine, but it would be humiliating.
Yeah, because it's a hovel. But
it is. It's like rundown shack. But, it's just, again, there's a couple... some of the dialogue in this, it drags a little.
A little bit again, yeah.
It just.
I want to say it's still I feel like it was a better paced
There's
episode.
Definitely better pacing.
And later on, they cut back and forth between two different scenes from two different places, but it makes so much more sense.
Yes.
Than the last episode when they try to do the same damn thing. Mm-hmm. And but we'll get to that. But so the scene wraps up real quick, and then it cuts to the cube. And I liked this zoom in shot, establishing shot that they're using for what we talked about last time. The style of these directors or whatever, or maybe they're just throwing it in there every episode. I don't know who's directing this or whatever.
That was a cool graphic transition.
It kept going through layer and layer and layer of the Borg cube, and eventually ends on all the pods they would be in.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were facing inward or outward. I guess they were facing outward.
It was. That transition piece was done very, very well.
It was one of the best ones yet.
Yeah, there was no spin. It didn't make you nauseous. It wasn't too fast. It reminded me of the early X-Men movies, that, where they zoom into the DNA without the.
Sorry. That's all. And every time we say X-Men, we're talking about something else. That's immediately. I'm way more in the song, where it goes real hardcore. But yeah. That's all I keep thinking about every time you say X-Men. Then we're not talking. Oh, whatever. It doesn't matter. But yes, you are. I agree with you. So It like eventually gets to this like doctor who's watching a video of Soji talking to the Nameless in their native language, which was like the mother tongue, they say, and he goes over and congratulates her. And I mean, this is a short little tiny thing where it pretty much says that you know, she says something to this guy. I forget what his name is, but he's an ex Borg.
Yeah.
And he talks about how they're discriminated against and they're either seen as things to be warehoused or like things to be exploited.
Yeah, in this conversation, I was a little confused.
Yeah, but I like the fact that he was like, the Romulans have a more expansive view than everybody else. They see us as both of those things. So that's why we're working with them. And it's like, all right, I guess. But then they end up talking about secret documents or something, or she mentioned something, and he's like, how do you know that? And she's like, I've kind of read a lot of secret documents about this. And he's like, how'd you do that? And she's like, I kind of just asked.
Yeah.
And someone helped me.
She asked for help and got it.
And then so someone above him told him that she's authorized to go and to speak to this person called Ramda.
Okay.
And then we cut back to, oh no, they mention ancient myths too, right? And things like that. And I'm already thinking like, okay, this ancient myth stuff has got to do with the Jat Vash.
It has to.
Right?
Yeah, it has to. I mean.
And the Borg and the Jat Vash.
Yeah.
So this terrible secret. What?
It's this conversation confused me. Theirs and the who they're talking about and like what culture they're referencing, I didn't feel like was anchored. You know, like it could be like,
I don't know the languages. You know.
Yeah.
I can know Klingon because it doesn't sound like anything else, and it's you know, it's very yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the German of Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. It's not.
Or Japanese, if you want to talk to like an old like Japanese samurai.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna try to sound like that because I think it'll come off the wrong way.
I think so too.
Yeah. Yep. That kind of channel. We're not gonna make that mistake.
Yeah, it was just I got when we watched it, and I think I had to watch that scene twice to kind of understand what was happening. You don't know this reformed Borg character at all until this scene, but he seems to have some type of relationship with Soji, where he's on speaking terms. But then, like, what is the mother tongue? Is it Borg or is it Romulan?
Yeah.
You know, I don't recognize them. Like,
no idea.
And she seems to like whisper it to the Nameless, and it was really like reverent from her. You know, like
it's almost. And you said something along the lines of, does she know she's a synth because of the way she said it?
Yeah,
like, does she know this?
Right.
And then later something happens, which is like, maybe she's gonna have an idea about it. Oh yeah, she does have an idea. She has like a weird like
vibe.
Well, yeah, we'll get to that.
Yeah.
So we are at the. It cuts back to Raffi and Picard, and then she's sitting on like a rock or like a stump or something, and he comes down and says, he's like, I'm very sorry I was a shitty friend.
She's
for
like
14 years.
misty, like
I feel
it looks like they sprayed her with
I feel like, you know what, they're like hamming it up in this scene and then chewing on the scenery that's made out of ham.
It's a tasty scene and chew.
Like
on the amount of ham that comes out.
Yeah, it's like and it's from her. No, I mean, is it though? Like, am I just being too harsh on this because I'm just like, Jean-Luc can do no wrong?
I mean...
or Patrick Stewart, rather, sorry.
Yeah, it's just, no.
Sorry, TV Dad.
There is obvious parts in this where it seems like they're just reading... They're reading to an eye line, not to the actual actor. So it's like, when it cuts to her and she's supposed to be talking to Picard...
There's someone who's like...
Yeah, they're like, look right here, like, yeah. You know, and so the shots are always like, you know, if the camera's there, you know, the line is said right here, but the character that is being told to is off camera.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it looks like they had to do this, I guarantee, because with Patrick Stewart's schedule.
That they only shoot like a little bit of it with him, and then they're like, all right, Patrick, go away, or like go do your thing that you're busy, and then they did the rest of it with her on like another day.
Yeah.
ooh, I want to go back and watch the continuity errors now, and like hair out of place and shit like that, so we can prove that. Prove to know, people don't.
But it just really has this non-linear
feel to it.
Yeah, where it's like
it's a little choppy, but I didn't notice that. Good. Then we cut to no, we don't cut anywhere. They finish up this conversation by her telling him to leave.
Right.
And then as he's walking away, she's
real
like,
indignant.
Yeah, she's like, I got you a pilot. He'll be in contact.
The delivery on this. From her telling him to leave, which was like very forced. The whole thing, her emotions just seem like so, like it's all hyperbole almost.
Oh, I know. It's just I don't know. I'm gonna say something, and I don't mean to be like really bad about it, but like she's the worst thing about this episode. She's the worst thing about this episode. She is. I don't know. I want to go find out who she is. I know I've seen her in other things.
She's got a familiar face, and I don't remember ever having an opinion about her previously, good or bad.
No. So this scene wraps up, and he's just like, okay, and he goes back to his taxi that probably came back because that's how he got delivered last episode. Was a flying taxi that looked exactly like the shuttles, exactly like the shuttles that are in the Enterprise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fine. Let's call back. But it cuts to Girardi, and this was the best part. The best part of us watching it together was there's opera playing, and Matt says, you say,
I say there's opera playing. Something evil must happen. Must be happening.
And I look at you, and I look back at the screen, and it's the back of Girardi, and she's got headphones on. And you see a shadow come up against her, and she turns back, and she takes the headphones off. And it's Commodore O.
Yes.
With sunglasses on.
Oh my god, like hangover sunglasses on.
Like I'm undercover. I'm undercover with Starfleet outfit and all these ranks right here.
It would have been better if she had the Groucho nose.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic.
So the opera rises and
we started. I looked at you. We started cracking up. We just started cracking up. It was fantastic.
Bad.
So then it cuts back to Dr. Soji, and she's entering the room with Ramda.
Okay.
And it's a very weird room. It's full of all the Romulans who are they're twitching out. They're being weird. It's a
mental institution
for Romulans.
For these
reclaimed Romulans.
Right. And they all still got pieces stuck in them and. The one woman, she looked familiar. I can't place her either, but Soji engages with her. She's doing some type of tarot card thing, I guess. Initially when I saw it, I was like, is she playing Settlers of Catan?
No. It's some kind of
tarot,
we find out it's some kind of tarot and or just mandala type thing,
yeah.
But this is a real quick. They find the Ramda person that they're looking for, but it cuts again. The pacing in this is I like how it's a little chunk. They're cutting back and forth. So it works out better. But it cuts back to Raffi, and she's sitting in a thing outside in her place because she lives in the desert, right? And she's smoking her thing and she's drinking, but she's also got this device in her hand, and she's looking at information. And then she receives a call.
And that's so quick. And you get into the scene, you see her, she's blowing out smoke, she's drinking or whatever. And she's looking at this, basically, futuristic version of an iPad. Or tablet. And, from behind, you see that she's, getting, the image pops up and you hear the ringtone. And she accepts the call, and it's Picard.
Yeah, Picard's hey, guess what? And she's like, he's like, I already know you're looking at this shit. Here it is.
Yeah.
Here's all the info I have. I'm sending it to you. He's like, I'm not looking at it. I'm not currently researching.
Carry on.
No. And he's like, carry on.
Carry on.
Yeah, that was pretty good. He was like, you're hooked.
Yeah.
He's like, you got me a pilot. I know. You just need to burn off some steam, smoke some more weed or whatever, space weed. Snake leaf. Sorry, snake leaf.
Spice.
Sorry.
It's spice.
The spice must flow. Thank God they're making a new Dune. I hope they don't F it up.
Yeah,
let's do that.
See.
I can't wait until that. Yeah, we're gonna rip that apart because I've read those novels. So yeah, the Moadib better be good. So I'm just saying, classic sci-fi. It's all relevant. So at this point, we are Oh, it cuts to some ship. That's it. It cuts to some ship that we don't know, but we've seen in the previews. Mm-hmm. It does a nice little spin around, gives you a nice little view of it. It looks like an H almost from the top down. Pretty sleek. I liked it. Picard teleports inside. He looks around and it's very clean. It's not. There's no oil anywhere. Right. It's not rusty.
Like it's pristine.
Yeah. It's very. Yeah. You would say. Some would say pristine. Yeah. Even sterile. If you could. Yeah. It's just not the white sterile of.
It's a little
Starfleet.
cold. It's like very high shine.
A lot of I feel like there's like some matte gunmetal, or a lot of steel gray, or some sort of like earthy tone that's like steel grayish.
Yes.
But this ENH, I'm guessing it's an emergency nurse hologram or something. I'm assuming it is.
Like that, yeah.
Because that was in Voyager, I think, was that guy.
I must have missed that one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's where they introduced that concept of a hologram being like a holodeck hologram with only the protocol of healing, like Isaac Asimov type stuff, I think is referenced. And being able to help, and that's it. Mm-hmm. I think it's what that is. But he comes out of nowhere and doesn't like teleporting, but comes out of nowhere and is like, oh, hey, it's you. Well, it might be too late already. Let's go see. Come with me. And then you're like, what? Oh, it's the captain. Okay. So, but we found that the guy looks just like the captain.
Yeah.
So, is this captain so cocky that he made like the...
Yeah, he like image-induced himself into the holodeck.
Because it's like a very well put together like suburban dad version of it.
Even the voice is slightly different. It's like a little bit higher tone.
Oh yeah, we have to talk about this after we're done. I think, let's just do it now. Yeah, this accent is atrocious because he goes in and out and in and out of it, especially in the next scene.
Half-ass Scottish. I don't even know. I feel like saying it's half-ass Scottish is still an insult to a Scottish accent.
Yeah, right. I'm not going to attempt to do one because I can't.
No, neither can I.
Maybe I'll just throw up a Simpsons thing.
Willie?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe that's what I'll do right now.
Bonjour, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
This is not.
Yeah.
This is not that.
No, not even
close. This is
close.
bad. But, this is like somebody being told, like, as they walk on the set, we want you to do it in a Scottish accent.
There you go. So we finally are introduced to Rios, the captain. He's got a piece of shrapnel and is
drinking.
And then, oh God, this is where the Picard walks over, and this is where they introduced this like book this episode.
Yeah.
He's like I forget what it's the tragic. What is it called? Tragic sense of life.
This is the Zat-Jaj of this...
The Jat-Vaj?
Yeah.
The hot Vaj? The hot badge? I mean, whatever. Like Jonah Hill hot badge?
Vaj. Jat-Vaj. But they mentioned this book like 5 times in very quick succession. He mentions it himself.
And they show it on screen a bunch. And like now and later. But it's called The Tragic Sense of Life, and like I'm sure it's up on the screen at some point within just past like 25, 30 seconds.
No, they'll learn in our story.
And the long and short of it is that like Picard's like I can still smell Starfleet on you, even if you're like hurt or whatever, or some bad shit happened to you. Like your ship is, like we mentioned, pristine.
Yeah.
And like everything is to accord.
Well, the guy's got like a scraggly, longer beard, and he's like.
Is he more pepper, like salt and pepper, than the ENH?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
The one thing popped in my head when I saw the guy was like, it's like the cheap man's Chris Pine. He's like, he's the Budweiser.
Here's Rios, and here's Chris Pine. All right, going away now.
Yeah, I'm probably completely wrong about that.
I hope there.
Yeah,
we'll just see if
it just seemed like a very
Tell us in the comments below what you think, if you think that Rios and Chris Pine look anything like.
It more of like the character that I've seen Chris Pine play. Mm-hmm. You know, where he's like self-assured, kind of cocky.
Yeah.
This guy does that not quite as well, I mean, not nearly as well as Chris Pine.
Okay.
But you know, Steve Trevor, that type of character, where it's, you know.
At one point, though, there's like an obvious green screen shot, and it's when they're like, the camera's like on the floor, and you see Picard sitting here talking to Rios, and it's like the whole front of the ship is just fake. The whole front of the ship is fake, and you know that because of the shots they probably have to do looking into the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like,
ooh. It looks like a matte background.
Yeah, it was like, very flat and like a pre-rendered Resident Evil background.
Yeah.
When it still had tank controls. So they try to make Rios badass by smoking a cigar while there's shrapnel in his shoulder, and then telling the ENH is like medkit pops up, and then he's like some sort of tequila, and the tequila pops up with a shot glass and a lemon or lime or whatever. But no, he does. He like sterilizes the wound with the tequila and stuff like that. And
very
that
tough guy type thing.
After the tragic sense of life book scene between them, it cuts to Rafi, and she's actually is researching the stuff Picard sent her, and she's pretty much all drunk because she's like,
she's doing the twirly typey thing.
It's funny though, the way she's just like, the way she's like so dismissively scrolling through shit. And the point of this is that she finds some place called after quantum entanglement, sending link, uplink bullshit, jargon on the screen. And we get to Free Cloud. This place called Free Cloud.
Free Cloud. Which sounds like a music sharing site.
So this is like a real tiny, not even 30-second scene, I don't think. And then it cuts back to Rios, and Rios is having a psychiatrist session with his emergency nurse hologram. Unprompted. He's like, why are you still... Yeah, and then but the emergency nurse hologram pretty much is like, you feeling a little intimidated?
Yeah.
Huh? Your measuring contest didn't hold up with the savior of humanity several times over.
He lists all of Picard's accomplishments.
It's you know what it is? It's the equivalent of whenever Khaleesi was introduced after being badass in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Just like this list of names.
Right.
Oh my god. It was kind of annoying, to be honest.
It was, and the snark from the hologram was a little overdone.
Yeah.
Too, and honestly,
and the Scottish accent. Holy crap!
This is really where it's bad.
Bonjour, you cheese-eating surrender monkeys.
Because the tone of voice, is like this, slightly higher. Tone.
He's almost like but in a Scottish accent. That's the closest thing I can think of. Oh well, man, and then the whole scene, the whole point of this scene is so that we can establish that his last captain that he really believed in got his brains blown out somehow.
He still has nightmares
trauma about it.
Yeah.
Every time I close my eyes, I just see my old captain's brains and skull pieces everywhere, all over the bulkhead.
Yeah,
and I'm like, oh god.
Melodrama.
I'd rather him have lost his whole family. I don't give a shit about your captain. That's what's supposed to happen. You have to expect that. What is it? Oh, is it survivor's guilt? Come on, you need more than that at this point. It's the future. People die.
Yeah, especially a captain in a warship.
Yeah, especially in the new type of Star Trek that they're setting up.
Yeah,
it's violent. Way more violent.
Yeah.
So that happens. So then we end up cutting back to Picard, and he's having a conversation with Laris about... They're pretty much looking up at the stars, having some conversation that I don't think really matters because they've all decided to go.
It was a throwaway. It was just about it was just him giving his emotional breakdown of why he has to go, and it's just
to establish that he's back home,
right?
Because he was just with Rafi.
I've always tried to make this chateau my place, but. It's not my home. Yeah. Or something like that.
I've never really felt at home here.
Yeah.
And his eyes got all big like Baby Yoda. He's like... Yeah, right? Yeah.
Don't touch that.
So then it cuts back real quick, real short scene of Soji and this Ram the weird lady talking about... Soji knows about Romulan culture and realizes that this mystic can only be talked to in a certain way. And so she does that, and then she ends up being invited to sit at the table.
Man, does Soji feel like a Mary Sue?
Not yet.
Is she too...
she's Mary Sue in the way that she's going to be hyper intelligent rather than physically...
She's super equipped.
Yeah.
She's very equipped for every...
Well, she's just a type A personality. According to everybody that works with her, and I can see that, she's a type A personality, right?
I get that, but it's she's there's the head researcher in there, and she's like able to get this insight in like
yeah.
3 seconds when the head researcher's obviously been like struggling for you know.
She ends up telling Narek later.
It felt a little Mary Sue-ish.
Yeah, I mean, but that's established in the first episode.
Yeah,
so
beating a dead horse.
It's fine.
I'm sure we have a gift of a
literally right
horse being beaten that we can put right here.
Yeah. So then from there it cuts back to Picard, and they get attacked. Pretty cool attack scene actually. I liked all the pew pew in this one. Picard's like, he is definitely a Second Amendment rights individual. Yeah. He definitely is.
Absolutely.
He definitely is.
Absolutely.
Because there are guns everywhere in his house, hidden away in his house, underneath the coffee table,
on the side of a
literally
chair.
right, on the side of a chair that he sits at in his desk. Oh, and it's obvious. It's now obvious. It's now obvious, everybody, that these servants, house servants, are not house servants in any way, shape, or form. They are bodyguards. They are bodyguards, thoroughly bodyguards.
Yeah,
there's no way they should be able to do
carries them out while singing.
Yeah, exactly. It's exactly. Yeah.
But they're both Lars and Ramda. Mm-hmm.
Ramdar, something like that. Yeah, too many. Come on, the names are too close. Too close.
Yeah, a little too close there. Especially for the fact that they don't get mentioned that often. Mm-hmm. Like, especially, I feel like Ramdar's name, probably because they created it and then realized how close it was to Ramda, and they're like, we'll just avoid saying it. You know? But they're very, very good bodyguards too. And Picard helps. He takes out
I mean, he gets thrown over, and he's obviously a tough old man.
Yeah.
Because he gets thrown over his desk, into his chair, into a fireplace.
Right.
And he doesn't break his hip.
Doesn't break anything.
Doesn't break his hip or anything.
It doesn't even just go.
He just gets up. He just immediately gets up and grabs the nearest gun that he's got, which is on a chair or desk.
This is the guy that in the first episode couldn't make it up a flight of steps.
Yeah. But I mean, everything's right there. He's not trying to, I guess. Yeah, he's not winded. The adrenaline's taken over, I guess. So they end up taking everybody out except for they do stun one of them, and then another guy sneaks in when they're all together and almost takes them out.
This was telegraphed.
And then Girardi comes in and shoots the other guy in the back.
Well, you don't see Girardi.
Yeah.
The guy gets shot. You hear a gun.
Pew!
You hear the pew, and the guy drops down, and everybody draws their weapons on a hidden character.
Yeah.
And it cuts to Girardi, and she's all shaken.
Where did she get that gun from?
Yeah.
Did she pick it up from somewhere else? Did it fall? Maybe there is a scene or a little tiny shot of a gun spinning into that room or something. Who knows?
I mean, it was
a pretty quick scene.
They kill a bunch of people pretty quickly. So I mean, one of the weapons could have slid. One of the people could have been out of the room, and as the fight rotated.
Ooh, she shoots a dude through the window and he's outside.
Okay.
That's probably what it
is. Shoots.
She shoots him through the window. She's got some guy. She's like, boom, and she shoots him through the window, and he doesn't come in the house. That's probably where she gets the gun. We're trying to give you guys an out.
Or maybe she teleports to a gun
I'm saying that she's scared shitless and she's playing both sides and she's going to be a spy.
Something
for Commodore O. I'm calling it now.
It might even be a unknowing spy.
Yeah.
She seems naive.
Yeah, a little bit.
But she also seems like a plant. So the naivete could be, as you get that, naivete.
Yeah. And then she, the questions that she ends up asking later, anyway. So let's just keep moving forward, I guess.
She's got that sad face.
Yeah, she's perpetually pouty.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Yeah.
So they get attacked. Then it gets back to Soji. They're talking to Ramda. And they figure out that there's some kind of conversation, and she's putting down these cards, which are probably like a tarot. Yeah. And then the Ramda lady asks Soji, which sister are you, the one who dies or the one who lives?
Right. It's very...
I know you, I know who you are.
I know who you are from tomorrow.
They call her the She Chena.
I remember you from tomorrow.
And, I remember you from tomorrow, yeah. And then they call her the Destroyer. and it's cutting back to Picard while he's interrogating this other guy,
right?
Who also calls her the Destroyer. You don't know what she is. She's a Destroyer.
Yeah, the Romulan Tel Shiar or Jat Vaj operative is conscious, and that's the only thing he says before he, does somebody punch him and he gets tilted over?
Yeah, no, she slaps him upside the head at one point. Then it goes back and forth real quick. Like we have to mention that like something went wrong with the assimilation of that cube.
Yes.
When this Ramda lady got taken, and she was one of the last people to get assimilated. So she's, probably one of the clearest. Who knows?
Yes,
but it's mentioned that like something happened, that this cube wasn't it's implied that this cube wasn't attacked. Mm-hmm. That the Borg Collective just decided to separate from it.
They had to separate.
And it has something to do with this Ramda character, or and they're talking about myths and like shared archetypes and shared stories,
narratives,
and like news and stuff like that. Like how that would just be like the everyday news.
Yeah.
But it goes back to the bad guy. And they want to kill Asha. Hold on. Oh, which sister are you? We mentioned that. So I'm just making sure our notes are like all up in here. Oh, so yeah. And so Ramda ends up getting pretty upset with Soji and like picks the gun out of the guy's pocket standing next to her.
Like so easily too.
And then puts it to her head. And it's implied it's done in like the $6 Million Man kind of camera work.
Like
where Soji like quickly disarms her. And, the doctor's like, oh no, Ramda's fine. This Romulan who brought a gun in here should be, punished. And it's like,
didn't check his weapon.
Yeah, I get it. I understand that. But, like, at the same time, it's just the way he said it. It was like, oh, he needs to go. Like, I'm just like, oh, come on. Like, everybody's hamming it up here, man.
It's very,
like, they're all, the same scenery. All masticating that scenery.
Yeah, it's not well delivered. Like, I feel like everybody's reading their lines right then and there. Like, do they have a script before they go onto the set? Are they doing TV?
Well, here's what we found out today when we were looking up the show today. We found out that they are, before the season, there was so much hype for the season 1 that they've already greenlit season 2. So we're not going to be getting like a solid 10 episode story.
No, they're gonna pad it. They're gonna pad it because seems like they're trying to set up a lot of dominoes to fall down later.
Yeah.
And I think what happens with the dialogue scenes is because they're not very well delivered, you keep on waiting for this payout, and it just kind of gets a little delayed every scene.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously to me, some of these scenes feels like the actor's first time delivering the line.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I think this was just to throw it out there real quick, we do agree that this is a better episode than the last one.
Yes, absolutely.
Like, it might have been a little hammy, but overall the pacing was so much better.
Yeah.
But we're still, in the story so far, we're still with Soji, and she's upset about what's going on, so she goes back to her room. And she ends up talking to Mom again.
Yeah.
So I'm putting M.O.M. for some kind of acronym, I'm assuming. Who lies to her and says, I've spoken to Dodge, she's fine, don't worry about your sister. Mm-hmm. And then something happens to Soji's where she's like,
yeah, she just passes out.
And then
she
wakes up and
gets teleroofied.
Yeah. Yeah, teleroofied, there you go.
So she's just out.
Yeah, so Narrakin's coming in and interrogating her about what happened. He's like, how do you know that stuff?
And she doesn't know you don't know how much time has gone past. Yeah. She wakes up to Narek coming into the room. And she's like, I don't know how I know this stuff. I just do.
I probably read. She's like, I've read every single unclassified document about your culture, that I'm allowed to read every single one. And she was like, even Romulan censors mess up sometimes.
Right.
Okay. And he's like, can you keep a secret? I think I'm falling in love with you. Oh, don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm in charge, and everything's gonna be okay.
Dude, that was.
And you're like, oh God.
That was
right,
Attack of the Clones level romantic dialogue delivery.
You went there. I don't know if it's that bad, man. I don't know if it's that bad.
Oh, that was so canned.
I mean, they're not rolling around in a field.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to link to that scene now, but I'm gonna have to probably. Anyway, so he ends up interrogating her. Like they hug, and it like fades to the next scene where it's like underground somewhere in the Borg cube. It seems, and Lieutenant Rizzo is back. She's got her ears back.
Oh yeah, she.
And there's this weird sexual tension kind of conversation
really
between
awkward.
her brother and her.
And she says brother a few times.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, she's like grinding up on him, and like
He gets real close.
he gets
and he's
into
like,
her ear.
And then he rubs his nose on her cheek as he pulls away.
This was
Oh.
just, it was just a little cringy.
Oh god.
It was a lot cringy, honestly.
Yeah, very cringy.
You know.
Although this chick does look so much better with pointy ears.
She's a very pretty woman.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. The like she basically tells him that he smells like sex.
Very carnal. God damn.
Oh man.
Heavy pregnant pause too.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like one.
And she's
beat,
like
2 beats.
There's a couple
3 beats.
there's a couple shots where they're like full body of them, and they're like just a little too close.
She's standing there
She's got
with her pelvis kind of right like toward him. Like her body language is like
It's just a little awkward.
yeah.
It's
What kind of sensual relationship do you have with your sister? Like, so this is my prediction. All right, they're brother and sister because they grew up in the same kind of place.
Yeah, some type of factory for spies or something.
Like that, right? But it's after the supernova because the supernova happened and a ton of people died. You know, and so I'm assuming that they were the ones that got away.
They're not blood related.
Yeah, because they're not that old. So 14 years ago, these people are children.
Yeah.
Right? So what's this? Yeah, I just don't. It's just weird to me. But maybe they're Jat Vache, both of them.
Ooh.
Right? And they're raised by Jat Vache.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that word now. I'm just trying to throw stuff out that maybe we'll get it right. So the show cuts to Picard and Girardi, and Girardi's like, I want to come with you because of this logical reason, this logical reason, this logical reason.
With her pouty face and like
her always sad face.
I wanted her to be like jumping up and down a little bit, or tugging on his shirt or something, like
a little bit. I don't know, but and he's like, okay, but you know, her reasons are solid. She's like,
she has solid reasons.
I'm the leading synthetic scientist. God damn it!
Yeah.
It's pretty funny.
The one thing I would have liked, and maybe I missed it, but I would have liked if Picard was like, yeah, I thought you were gonna go. But if he was just like,
well, he's like, I would be honored if you joined me.
Right.
I think he says because that's what he's like. TV dad's like that. I want to keep this going for the whole
TV dad
season.
is TV dad.
Until he really f's up the show, I'm gonna be like,
I mean, it's not him.
What? It's not Picard.
I don't think so.
No, it's. I mean, he's mellowed in his old age, I guess. Now he's like a grandfather.
I mean, but he's apparently going to go batshit crazy. That might happen in season 2 at this point.
Or they're gonna because we predicted that by the end of the season, the Borg technology that they're gonna uncover,
it's going to save him.
Yeah, because that's what's killing him is the Borg. We don't know what that is. But somehow this myth, an archetype, an ancient technology is probably gonna save it. With the Jat Vache and some bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all going to connect.
Yeah, absolutely.
I hope.
So do you think this
I hope these aren't all red herrings.
Do you think this is Picard's Lazarus pit?
Yeah. I probably, the Borg are going to have a Lazarus pit. Exactly.
Yeah.
They're going to re-Borg him and then un-Borg him.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're going to reinstall an update and then uninstall the firmware.
Yeah.
And put a video card up his ass and be like, you're good to go. So they end up, okay, great, we're good. And then the Captain Rios is like, you guys, it's getting hot down there. And there's like, it's already got hot. He's like, it's about to get way hotter.
Yeah.
So they teleport up, and then you got Girardi and Rafi having a little bit of an interaction and banter. And Girardi's like, who are you, lady? Like, how old is Girardi supposed to be? Agnes, how old are you supposed to be, man?
Have you ever gotten out of the lab? Is that what they're supposed to get with this?
Golly gee, who are you? You're real snarky. You're a snarky lady. Oh man.
Can we be friends?
Right. So Rafi pretty much tells Picard, I'm gonna brass Mudix, right? No, Bruce Maddox. I know the name. I was just fucking around.
It's like, what?
Because I almost said it wrong, and then I decided to say it wrong, and then I decided to correct myself. So that
I'm
joke,
like, wait, when did
that
these-
joke went over like a fart in church. But it doesn't matter.
When did the names go from Star Trek to Star Wars?
I know, yeah, right? Just switching around a little bit. But no, so Bruce Maddox is in Free Cloud. And it looks like when it showed it earlier, there was you mentioned that there was like some dice or something like that.
Yeah, I thought like when they clicked on the information that they discovered earlier, it looked like almost like a casino.
Yeah, maybe Pleasure Planet or something like that.
Something
or
like that.
Vacation
It was
Planet.
just there's dice or something like that. It was very quick, but I think it's there. It's just what? So at that point the show ends pretty much, right?
Yeah, it ends with, we get our first engage.
Right.
We get our first engage of Star Trek Picard.
Yeah.
Also,
3
we
episodes
predicted that on the first episode 1, we predicted that there was going to be at least like 2 to 3 episodes on Earth before they went.
Establishing everything.
Yeah, establishing everything, getting everything together.
Because now we know who the crew is.
Yep.
We know what ship they're using.
But I'm sure they're going to pick up more crew after this.
Yeah.
Because every good RPG that's a space travel RPG, Mass Effect 1, and maybe 2, is you go to different places, and as you travel, you get more and more relevant and more powerful companions.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that's going to be, and I think we're also going to say that Girardi's a spy. That's what's happening here.
There's something going on there.
Yeah.
Unwitting, maybe. But definitely she's going to reveal something to somebody.
Mm-hmm.
She might just feel like it's her duty to talk to Commodore O and she doesn't understand. Because she seems to have that, like, dumb innocence to her.
Yeah.
Or, book
Naivete, as you said earlier.
Book smarts versus street smarts.
Mm-hmm.
So she'll she'll probably get some education in the streets of the spaceways or whatever they call it.
She's gonna get in the cold and see it's much different than warm Earth.
Yeah, or a controlled laboratory. But
so at this point, we can stop glancing down every 15 to 20 seconds to check our notes to make sure that we did a good job on this, and
cover it everything.
And we make sure we cover everything.
Throw a blanket on everything.
So we think it's a better episode than episode 2, but what do you think? I'm going to ask you first, if you don't mind. What do you think we should give this? Or I'm sorry, not we should give this. What do you think? Of the show, of the episode.
To me, this is a hard one because there's a lot of flaws. There's a lot, but overall, I guess it's a mission accomplished.
The pacing was so much better, and I didn't get bored with scenes. As I'm getting bored with scenes, it's cutting to something else.
It moves better. The line delivery, especially from some characters, and there's definitely some scenes where they're either doing ADR after the fact, or the character that the dialogue is supposed to be directed at is not in scene.
And they're using someone in a wig.
Yeah. They're using sightline, and they're reading off cards. And honestly, there's a few line deliveries that feel like it's like the first time the actor is reading it.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like Jean-Luc I feel like Patrick Stewart just could not get that one line right.
No,
which is why he's like this. He's looking at her, and the camera is right there.
Yeah,
I can tell.
But it's just slightly
And he goes
off.
like this, and he's like. But the whole time he's talking, I can't do it, right? Because there's no But he's like jargon, and he looks right at the camera at one point, and there's like jargon. And then he looks back at her, and he's like like another sentence and a half. Because his short-term memory must be pretty good. Because his mind's crappy.
For that, I can understand them using a teleprompter. But there's lines from Raffi that
are just like simple. I'm upset with you because you left and we're a crappy friend.
Right, but she's. The prep for the delivery of the lines was lacking.
Yeah,
I don't know how this comes across to others, but I really felt like it took me out of the show. But overall, I say it's a mission accomplished because it moves the story forward at a faster pace. It balances the exposition dialogue with action. The action set pieces are well done. You know, and then you have Patrick Stewart chewing up scenery and chewing up dialogue.
We get more Picard overall.
Yeah.
And good Picard.
And they cool engage, and there's, you know...
And it shows him, I like that he's still capable at his age, and they show that in the one action scene, that in a close quarters fight, he can, you know, where he's not ambushed outside and the other people have the high ground.
I really dislike the scenes with Narek.
Really? I mean, you had mentioned when we were watching that you were like, look at this, look at this Wonderwall reject.
It's like
it's just great.
You know, it just
it's fantastic when you said that. I'd like there's a tie between that and opera. Something bad's gonna happen.
Like the Oasis reject on the ship.
Oasis, yeah. That's what it was. Oasis,
he's in an Oasis cover band.
Yeah. I'm going to say that mission accomplished for me too. Boom. Yeah. Because the pacing kept my interest. You know, in the shorter scenes, I liked it. I didn't. Rafi was the worst thing about this episode, though.
Yes.
Really was. But you know, oh well. But overall, I liked this episode. It was quicker. We got more stuff done.
Yeah.
And we got, you know, the information that we needed to get from the last episode answered a little bit. The implications of what could happen. And the you know, the expansion of the story, you know, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm already starting to be hesitant on going forward because I already know there's gonna be a season 2.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right. So is season 1 just gonna be like let's fix him, or does Soji have to sacrifice herself so that Jean-Luc doesn't die, or vice versa? Or, you know, I just don't...
When's Data come back?
Yeah, when's Data coming back?
When's Data come back at this point?
Yeah.
You know, like...
Or could they only, you know, afford him for those couple short scenes in the first episode, or the second episode?
Well, maybe it's Patrick Stewart's taking all the money, so they only have, like, change left. Yeah. And they're like, yeah, can you come in? We'll get you a burger. You know? Yeah, but, I think one of the reasons that this feels like an accomplishment is because episode 2 was so poor.
Yes.
You know, so this does raise the bar from episode 2. I still haven't made up my mind about this series.
Not me either.
I'm just like, I really feel about this show how I feel about most shows on network television, including their streaming services, is that it's not bad.
Yeah.
There's nothing else to watch.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yeah, it's good. Know? It's good. Yeah, I mean... We're being overly harsh on this stuff because we love it. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Because you want it, when you really enjoy something, you want it to be the best it can be.
Well, and the only Star Wars I'm sorry. Well, the only Star Trek that I've ever really consumed is The Next Generation.
Yes.
I tried the original series. I didn't really like it. I tried some of the movies. Some of them are okay. After The Next Generation, I tried some of those other series, including the recent Discovery one, and I've just found them all lacking compared to The Next Generation. So, for me, seeing Picard active again, I want to feel like it's The Next Generation. And I know he's, 30 years older than he was in Next Generation?
Almost 40.
Almost 40 years older,
Yeah, but it wasn't on for that long. Only 5 or 6 years, I think. I don't think it was on for like 10 or something like that. It was good because it wasn't on at the same time as Deep Space Nine because they wouldn't have had that many Star Trek shows on it at that time.
No, yeah.
It was one after another.
It's one after another.
But yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up there.
Yeah,
mission accomplished again. Just boom, one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate it.
Yep.
We're Mission Accomplished Media, and I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And make sure that you guys like, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff below. Right here, I'm going to put... the video for this giveaway for this. Remember, when we get to higher subscribers, we're going to add more stuff to the giveaway for when we get to 1,000. So, and there's going to be other videos here. Remember to subscribe right here in the middle of the Captain America. And again, we're Mission Accomplished Media, and I'm Mike.
I'm Matt.
And thanks for tuning in. Peace out, guys.
See ya.
Bye.